Hello, good afternoon. I am Akshay Kumar, PGT Physics from KV number 1 Adhampur. I am representing an experiment related to Ohm's law. So we already familiar that what is the statement of the Ohm's law. It states that by current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its end, provided the physical conditions of the conductor that should remain constant. The physical conditions like pressure, temperature, that should remain constant, that should remain unchanged. And second, we are familiar that Ohm's law can be applied only for the simple circuit. So we can prove the Ohm's law with the help of this simple circuit. So that means what is our aim? Our aim is to determine the resistance per unit length of the given wire by plotting the graph of potential difference versus current. So that means we want to draw the graph between the potential difference V and current I. So we have a material required for the experiment or the activity. First one is the wire of unknown resistance. So we must have a wire. So we have a wire of unknown resistance. Second one is the battery, illuminator, having 0 to 3 voltage, and or we can use 2 dry cell instead of battery. And second one is the voltmeter of range 0 to 5 volt, milliammeter of range 0 to 500 milliampere, a rheostat, a plug key, and connecting wires and a piece of sandpaper. So first of all, we must know what is the principle behind Ohm's law. So Ohm's law states that electric current flowing through the conductor, is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends, provided the physical condition of the conductor that remain unchanged. So if I is the current that is passing through the conductor and V is the potential difference across its ends, then we are able to find that V is proportional to I and V is equal to Ri, where R is called the constant of proportionality and is termed as electrical resistance of the conductor. So if V is expressed in the volt and I is measured in the ampere, then R is expressed in the ohms. So the resistance R depend upon the material and its dimensions of the conductor. For a wire of the uniform cross section, the resistance depend upon the length L and area of cross section capital A. It also depend upon the temperature of the conductor. So for the given temperature, R is equal to L upon A. So if we replace this proportionality sign by equal to sign, we take a constant rho. So rho is the specific resistance or the resistivity and is the characteristics of the material of the wire. So now when we draw the graph between current I and voltage, we are getting the graph like this. So from the relation it is clear that V is proportional to L upon A into I. So we are getting a very linear graph, that is the straight line graph between V and I. So it is the graph which is passing through the origin, and the slope of the graph that we can obtain AB upon BC. So that will give you the value of 1 upon R. So slope is equal to 1 upon R. So hence we can find the value of R. R is equal to 1 upon slope. So now this is the circuit diagram. So according to circuit diagram, we have to connect the instrument with each other. So first of all, we are moving toward the battery part. So this one is the battery part. So in the battery part we have voltage. This is 0, 2 volt, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. So we have to apply between 0 to 4 volt. So if we increase the voltage, so it may damage the instruments. So first of all, we are keeping it in the at a very low voltage, and the second, this one red. So red terminal is representing the positive terminal of the battery, and this black is the negative terminal. So according to connection, so we have to connect positive terminal of the battery with the positive terminal of the milliammeter. So positive terminal of the battery is connected positive terminal of the battery is connected to positive of the milliammeter, and negative terminal of the battery and negative terminal of the battery is connected to a one-way key. So this is a one-way key, and the second terminal of this battery is connected to rheostat at the upper end, and the lower end of the rheostat it is connected to the negative of the voltmeter, and there is a parallel connection of the wire for which we want to find the specific resistance of the wire. So this is the wire having uniform cross sectional area, and the positive terminal of the voltmeter it is connected to negative of the ammeter, positive terminal of the voltmeter is connected to negative terminal of the ammeter, and we are getting that the circuit is complete. Now again we are revising the circuit, again we are moving in the opposite direction. So first of all, we are moving toward the negative terminal of the battery. Negative terminal is connected to one-way key, and second end of the key is connected to rheostat on the upper side, and the lower side of the rheostat is connected to the positive terminal of the voltmeter, and negative terminal of the voltmeter, and the positive terminal of the voltmeter is connected to negative terminal of milliammeter, and there is a parallel wire connected between the voltmeter. The resistance wire is connected in parallel with the voltmeter, and we want to find the resistance of this wire as well as the specific resistivity of this wire. So I think the connections are correct as per the circuit diagram. So again, what we have to check? We have to check that the needle in the milliammeter that should be at 0. So that means there should be no error in the milliammeter as well as in the voltmeters. So we are checking here that voltmeter and milliammeter there is no error, because the needle is exactly at 0. First of all, we have to find the least count of the voltmeter as well as milliammeter. So from this we can measure the least count. Least count means it is the minimum measurement that is done by the instrument. So minimum measurement that can be done by this instrument. So that means first 10 lines are divided into 0.5. So 0.5 divided by 10. So that means we are getting the 0.05 volt. In case of milliammeter, the first 10 divisions are divided into 100. So it is 10 upon 100. So that means one line is representing 10. So this one is the rheostat. It is used to control the current. So we have to keep the rheostat at the minimum position. Now we have to on the circuit, we have to start the circuit. So first of all, insert this key to complete the circuit. Now the circuit is closed. Now switch on the battery. So what we are getting that there is deflection, small deflection in the voltmeter as well as in the milliammeter. So we are adjusting the rheostat at the minimum position. So at minimum position we are getting it as So both voltmeter and ammeter, they are showing the zero reading. Now we will slightly increase the current and we will measure the value of the milliammeter as well as in the voltmeter as given in the table. So we will measure the value. So first of all we have to find the range of a meter, then the least count of a meter, range of the voltmeter, least count of the voltmeter, least count of the meter scale, with the help of which we want to measure the length of this wire of uniform cross section. So now move to the observation table. So in the first column we have to measure the potential difference from the voltmeter reading, and second we have to measure the current from the milliammeter reading, so that is in milliampere. So move to, now we are increasing the current with the help of the rheostat. So we have increased the value so what we are finding that the milliammeter is giving different value. So it is giving it is just 1 2 3, it is giving 30 milliampere. So that means we can put 30 milliampere here. So we can put 30 milliampere. And what is the voltmeter reading? So voltmeter reading is, there is no change, so that means it is 0 volt. Right? Now again we are increasing it. We are sliding the rheostat. So ammeter reading is now 40. So we are getting the ammeter reading as 40 milliampere, but we see that there is no change in the voltmeter reading, so that is still it is 0 volt. Right? Again we are increasing. So now we have increased the voltmeter reading. So we are getting it as, this is nearly 80, and there is slight change. So it is representing 0.05. So it is 70 and we are getting it as 0.05 volt, and it is 70 milliampere. Now we are increasing it again. So what we found that the voltmeter reading is also increasing. So at 200 we are getting, it is on the second line, so it is 0.10. So we are getting the reading at 0.10 volt at 200 milliampere. 200 milliampere. So similarly now we can increase the battery voltage up to 4. So again we are minimizing it. So we are seeing that the readings are not constant, so that we are able to find a straight line graph. So that is why we are changing the voltage from the battery. Now it is at 4 volt. So we have minimized it. Again we are increasing it. So with the increase, so we will get the different values of the current and voltage for the change in battery voltage. So with that readings that may be applied, that may lie on the straight line. Some of the readings may not lie on the straight line, so that means we have to omit those readings. So we have to consider only those readings which make the graph very straight, because the reason behind it is physical conditions, they may vary, they are not giving the uh, particular range of the readings for the particular value of the voltage. And second, the wire is may getting heated due to the flow of the current, so the resistance of wire may also increase. So now the calculation part, in the calculation part what we have to do, we have to plot the graph. We have to plot the graph between the potential difference and current flowing through it as. So we are getting graph. That means we have to consider only those points which lie on the straight line. So we will determine the slope of the graph, and the distance of the given wire of the graph we are getting from the slope, because slope is the reciprocal of resistance. So we are getting the resistance from the graph. So the resistance per unit length, so that will be calculated. We will divide the resistance by the length of the wire, so it will give you the resistance per unit centimeter. So that was the aim of the experiment. So from the experiment it is clear that we can verify the Ohm's law by drawing the graph between the potential and the current. But sometimes what happen, the readings are not constant. That means readings are not increasing or decreasing in the proper proportion. So some readings may lie outside the straight line graph, so we have to omit these readings. So because this may be happen due to the high resistance that present in the wire due to the flow of the current, and second, the sum of the physical condition, they also may vary, they also may affect the result of Ohm's law. So this is all about today's activity. So in today's activity we are able to prove, we were able to determine the resistance per centimeter of the given wire. The wire should have a uniform cross sectional area, and we find that the graph between the voltage and the potential difference and the current is a straight line. From the straight line graph we can find the slope of the graph, the reciprocal of the slope of the graph, that will give the resistance, and with the help of resistance we can find the resistance per unit length of the given wire for the uniform cross sectional area, and that will give you the specific resistance or the resistivity of the wire. So the unit of the specific resistivity is ohm per centimeter. So this is all about today from my part. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.